You probably do not need more motivation. You probably need fewer things stealing your brain every 5 seconds. Because the life upgrade nobody talks about is not becoming more inspired. It is becoming harder to distract. That one skill quietly changes everything. By the end, you will understand why distraction keeps you stuck. And you will see how focus can feel less like torture. Not perfect focus. Just enough focus to actually finish things. Most people think distraction is a phone problem. But the phone is usually just the remote control. The real problem is that your attention has no walls. After a while, your brain starts expecting interruption. This is why sitting down to work feels weirdly uncomfortable. Not because you are broken, because your brain has been trained to leave. A distracted life can look busy from the outside. You can answer messages, watch tutorials, research ideas, and still avoid the one thing that matters. That is why distraction feels productive. It gives you movement without progress. And if you want to grow online, learn skills, or build something real, this matters. The internet rewards people who stay with one thing long enough to improve it. But most beginners never lose because they are dumb. They lose because their attention keeps leaking. Imagine Casper wants to start a channel. He opens a script document, then one more tutorial about how to get views. 2 hours later, he feels like he worked, but the script is still empty. This is not laziness. This is attention leakage. But together, they drain the energy you needed to finish. It is scattered attention. And the next idea is where this gets useful. Becoming harder to distract starts with one question. What is allowed to interrupt me? Most people never decide this, so everything gets treated like an emergency. But urgent is not the same as important. If you do not choose your interruptions choose your life. That sounds dramatic, but it shows up in tiny ways. You sit down to build an idea, and your brain says, research 10 better ideas first. The distraction often disguises itself as preparation. This is why smart beginners can still stay stuck. They are short on protected attention. So the first upgrade is simple. Create a focused doorway before you start. A focused doorway means you decide the task before the mood changes. One clear action. Write one scene, edit 1 minute. When the task is vague, distraction wins. When the task is small and clear, your brain has less room to escape. But this is where people make the mistake. They delete everything, block every app, and promise a new life at midnight. Then 3 days later, they crash. Extreme systems are easy to imagine and hard to live with. The goal is to stop fun from ambushing your future. You are putting joy in its proper place. A better rule is this. Make focus easy for the first 10 minutes. Just make the first 10 minutes boring enough to begin. Put the phone across the room. Close the extra tabs. Open only the tool you need. Basic things work because they reduce choices. And fewer choices means fewer escape routes. Here's a small challenge. Next time you avoid something important, do not call yourself lazy. Ask what escape route you left open. Were you secretly scared of doing it badly? Because distraction is not always about pleasure. Sometimes it is about avoiding discomfort. A lot of distraction is fear wearing a funny hat. Sometimes you check because the work makes you feel uncertain. So your brain offers an escape. Just check something else. Just wait until you feel ready. But readiness usually comes after starting. Confidence usually comes after evidence. And evidence comes from finished reps. This is why focus is not just a productivity hack. It is how you prove to yourself that you can trust yourself. Every finished task becomes a tiny vote. That identity is powerful, but it has to be earned in small moments. Now, let us make this practical. There are 3 levels of distraction. For this level, distance works better than willpower. Build one that requires less fighting. Watching 5 editing videos instead of editing is still avoidance. Planning your brand instead of posting is still avoidance. Learning is good, but learning must turn into output. Learn one thing, then use it immediately. The 3rd level is emotional distraction. This is when you escape because the task makes you feel something. This level cannot be fixed only by app blockers, because the distraction is coming from inside the room. The solution is learning to sit with the first wave. Not forever, just long enough to keep going. Most urges fade if you do not instantly obey them. You can feel uncertain and still make the bad first version. That is where your attention gets stronger. When there is a pull and you do not immediately follow it, that is the rep. And reps are how you change. But there is one more trap. Some people turn focus into another way to judge themselves. They get distracted once and think the day is ruined. That mindset is secretly another distraction. The upgrade is not never drifting. The upgrade is returning faster. A focused person is not someone who never gets pulled. It is someone who notices the pull and comes back. So ask yourself, which path am I practicing today? If you want a simple starting system, use this. Before you work, choose one output. Before you start, remove one escape route. While you work, return without drama. That is it. Do this enough, and focus stops feeling like a personality trait. It becomes a normal part of how you operate, and this matters beyond productivity. Your attention decides what gets built. That is why attention is not a small thing. It is the steering wheel for your life. And most people hand that wheel to whatever is loudest. You do not have to. The goal is to stop being dragged around by default. If you want to build a better life, your attention has to become yours again. That is the quiet upgrade. Not louder motivation. A stronger relationship with your own attention. So here is the final challenge. For the next 7 days, do not try to change your whole life. Just protect the first 10 minutes of one important task. No dramatic self-hate when you drift. Just come back. Because every time you come back, you become slightly harder to distract. And a person who is harder to distract is harder to control. Harder to stop. That is not a small life upgrade. That might be the life upgrade everything else depends on.